Hello everyone, I am revisiting string compression today. So, the problem statement. Given an array of characters, compress it using the following algorithm. Begin with an empty string. For each group of consecutive repeating characters in the character array, if the group's length is 1, append the character to the empty string. Otherwise, append the character followed by the group's length. The compressed string should not be returned separately, but instead be stored in the input character array. Note that group lengths of 10 or longer will be split into multiple characters in the character array. After you are done modifying the input array, return the length of the new array. You must write an algorithm that uses only constant space. So example 1, an array of characters. We return 6 because we are going to turn this into this, and this has a length of 6. There are 2 A's, 2 B's, 3 C's. So A2, B2, C3. Okay. And so my original idea that I arrived at independently was to enumerate the occurrences using a hash map. And it results in something like this. From there, you could store the results of that, the object.entries, and then call .flat to turn, so object.entries, the result is going to look like it's going to be a, what was it, 2D array. And then if we flatten a 2D array, it will look like this. And if we join it, it will look like this. And then you can return the length. And isn't that just like, doesn't that make so much sense? But you can't do this. Does not like this. For some reason. Well, so the reason, of course, is that they tell you not to do this. They tell you exactly what they want you to do. They want us to modify it in place, right? So cars. So instead of modifying cars, we created something completely new. It's not what they want. Okay, so let's begin again. Okay, so first thing is we're going to store the length of cars in a variable. We'll call it n. Next, I need a pointer for where I am going to write the compressed characters. So that's going to be moving independently. Now we're just going to iterate over characters, and we're going to use n, the variable we just made, for the length of it. Let I equals 0, I is less than chars.length, or n is fine. Increment I. So now we want to recognize the current character. So we are going to store it So let ch equal cars I. And we need to keep track of the occurrences. So count equals 0. And now we are going to begin counting. So while I is less than n and cars I is the current character we're looking at, strongly equals, it is the character, count plus plus I plus plus. So we will go ahead and go to the next character. And keep counting them as long as they are the character. If the count is just, if we only have one, then we're going to store it at that position in the character array and then move to the next position. So if the count is strongly equal to 1, then in the character array at idx, at the next position, not the position where we wrote the character, we're going to store the character. So that's else. Otherwise, we proceed to store the character and follow it with the count. So we either store the character by itself, or we store the character and move on to append the digit. So let's do this one more time. Okay, and inside of the else statement, for let digit of count dot to string, because it's a integer, but we are trying to write into character array. We're going to convert it into a string, and it's all going to be a string at the end of the day. So anyway, cars idx plus plus equals digit. So we're going to follow it with the count, and it's going to be a string number, and yeah, okay. So now next thing we need to do is decrement to counteract the outer for loop, so we don't skip characters in the next iteration. Okay, so now outside of the greater for loop that we have here, we are going to truncate the array to the index length to remove the extra characters from the original array. So cars.length is not going to be however long it is. It's going to be however the new length is however many times we incremented the index. And then we'll return the new length, which is just however many times we did that.